Using your Roth as an emergency account with a warning. All right. So when I was younger, I'm almost 54 years old now. I'm an old man river. I thought it'd be very wise and to use my Roth as an emergency account, because remember, the best thing about the Roth is your contributions you have access to without penalty or tax. You don't have access to your gains without penalty or tax unless you're over the age of 59 and a half. You've had the account open for 5 years. But your contributions are yours for the taking. I said, man, that's so great. So I said, what I used to do is I used to put the max. It used to be $2,000. I can't remember when it went to 3. I think it was under one of the Bush tax rules, 2001 or something like that, 2002. I can't remember. But anyway, I used to put what I used to do, because I didn't have any money back then. I mean, but we were sharing burritos, you know what I'm saying? When Charlotte and I would go out to dinner, if we went out, when we lived in Phoenix, we went to this place called Blue Burrito, and you get the big blue. And it's a big burrito, and we'd split it in half, we share it, and they also had free chips and salsa. And so we'd go there, get a water, share a big blue. It cost like $6 or something like that, $4 back then. And that was the extent of our eating out. Once in a grand while, we'd go out and splurge at like Don Pablo's or something like that. But other than that, we didn't have any money. No one has money when they're starting out. That's the thing, man. These kids today, no one has money when they're just starting out. So it's okay. Just be patient. Time will come. Your time will come. If you quit drinking, if you don't gamble, all that, your time will come, man. Just get off the bad stuff and focus on the good. Anyway, so what I did then is I said, well, I still want to invest. I understood the incredible value of compounding interest. So what I did is I borrowed on a 0% credit card. I did all the balance transfer stuff. So I'd take basically $4,000 on a credit card literally just I'd take the money out as a credit card as a cash advance, which would be 18.99%, and then I'd fund my Roth with VTSMX, which back then was the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. That was before they had VTI. And then I just do a balance transfer from the 18.99% cash advance account into Navy Federal Credit Union or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I played these games, and I did that every year. And by about 2000 or so, about 2007 or so, I started having $25,000 in there. And then I had a 401k. It wasn't worth very much because I changed jobs a couple times, to try to build my career. But let's just say, when all said and done, I was 20 at that point. It's 20-something years old, 30-something years old. With $25,000 in various accounts, mostly Roth IRAs, from doing the balance transfer thing. Maybe I even had 30,000. I don't think it was that much. I think it was 25,000 between my 401k. And remember, we had 4 kids at that stage. We had we just weren't making any money. I was working a part-time job at R.R. Donnelley, binding books at night. My wife was working part-time as a bank teller. My real full-time job was a stockbroker trying to build an asset base. So, we're running on empty, man, but it's okay. I look back on those times fondly, even though back then I was nervous as a Nelly, because I was like, dude, are we ever going to make it out of this? Anyway, and so what happened was, that was great. I said, well, if I need emergency money, my Roth is there for the taking. My whatever it was, my $15,000, I can't remember how much I had in there. I know it wasn't more than $30,000. I know that for a fact. But anyway, and so what happened was, that's right. Once I couldn't pay those credit cards off within a year, that's what it is. I stopped doing that. Once I could not pay the credit card off within the year, I stopped doing this method, because I said the whole point about the 0% is I wanted 0%. I didn't want to pay any interest on the money I was putting into the Roth. That didn't make any sense. So at some point along those lines, from 99 to 2007, I stopped doing that because I didn't have enough money to pay off the credit card debt that I was accumulating, if that made sense. Anyway, so that's great until 2007 came along. So remember, October 2007 to March 9th of 2009, the total stock market index fell over 50%. All right. So I had these 0% balance transfers, and at this stage I had probably accumulated like $14,000 on balance transfers, $14,000 in credit card debt. Well, I had $25,000 in assets. So for me, it was still a win. I still had $10,000 more than what I started with, and I said, that's exactly what you want, man. It's no different than borrowing against a house and building up equity. It's literally the same thing, and that's the way I looked at it, except in this case I had access to my money. All right, well then the S hit the fan, and then what happened was I remember it was $14,000 bucks. My $14,000 a credit card, which ended up at Chase Bank somehow, because Chase Bank gave me zero. So what happened was Chase Bank offered me 0% for the life of the loan until I paid it off. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take advantage of that. So I was going to start ramping back up, doing my scenarios of borrowing against my credit card and putting the 401 and putting my Roth. I was getting 0% for the life of the loan. I say, hell yeah. And so I had $14,000 at Chase. That was going to be 0% until I paid it off. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Or maybe 0% for 5 years. I think it's 0% for the life for 5 years, either way. But I did a balance transfer to Chase in 2007. And then the wheels came off. 2007, the market went down. It started to go down. The real estate market was just on its back. Everything started, but it didn't really affect most people until about mid to October, late 2008. When the Lehman Brothers stuff happened and the Bear Stearns. Then it started hitting the fan. So now my $25,000 is worth how much? Yeah, $12,000 bucks. My $14,000 I owed Chase, still $14,000 bucks. But you know what they did? They said, now we're going to start charging you interest. I'll never forget. I said, wait. I called them up. I was like, we had just moved to Texas. And I had no liquidity. I'll never forget. I said, well, what do you mean you're going to start charging me interest? This was 0% for the life of the loan. They said, oh, no, kind sir. You should have read the small print. It said, I can't remember what it said. If there's a calamity of some sort, we can charge you interest rate to basically keep afloat. Because remember, all these banks were in a world of hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? It looked like they're going to go under. So Chase said, oh, we reserve the right to charge you an interest rate if our profits are going down or something like that. So now I got $14,000 at Chase. Now it's at 14.99%. I had no disposable income to speak of, dude. I mean, it was scary, man. And so what I did is I sold my Roth out. I used that with $12,500 to pay off basically the most of Chase. And I just bit the bullet and I said, I'm just going to have to freaking pay this guy off. And I did, and we were able to, but it was scary for a while there. I said, all right, guys, I owe these guys $2,500 at 14.99. I was going to pay him like $500 a month, I think is what I did, till I paid that guy off. And that's what I ended up doing. And it worked out, but I mean, that was the extent of my Roth as an emergency account. I was done by that point because the Roth was done. I had no more money in my Roth. I had no more money on credit card debt, but it works until it doesn't, is where I'm going with this. And that's the drawback, is if you have a stable income and you got some liquidity, yeah, man, you should use your Roth as a freaking emergency account. And when I say liquidity, I mean that you're not using your Roth to pay the bills, 100%. But, man, things can go south quick. And so, anyway, fast forward to 2009, I got no emergency account, no Roth at this stage. I'm just rebuilding my retirement accounts through my 401k, through a job that had a great 401k program, by the way. It's fantastic.